All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone had an amazing day yesterday. Hope you're having an amazing morning today. So, good morning as we get started. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, man. I'm doing great. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully, you know what day of the week it is this week. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yes, and I do know what day of the week it is, so that's good. It's a good thing. So doing well, guys. Again, nicely. It was nice. What's going on here with the market? Let's get right into the market pulse. And again, we have a lot of green on the screen today. Some of our good old names that we have been trading for some time are up this morning. Obviously, following whatever the SPY is doing. So let's get right into that and see what's going on in that area.
Yeah, man. So today we're up just shy of 1.5% on the SPY on pretty heavy volume, 1.7 million shares traded on the SPY specifically so far. Uh, we had some strength yesterday in financials. The banks, you'll see a number of them are here gapping up again this morning. A number of retailers, travel related stocks, and then a couple things moving kind of on their own that are interesting as well. A couple of potential short squeezes getting hold here that especially like BBY that has been kind of on a roll the last few days, including yesterday. We spoke about it, and then Smile Direct had some news this morning. We'll break into it in a minute. So, really, a pretty interesting day overall. The VIX has gotten down as low as 31.43 this morning. So, I am charging my clippers and charging my clippers, and hopefully this will come off today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But just all in all, it's crazy. We keep hearing all these people come on. There's some serious shorts from big boys in the market right now, and they're getting their lunch eaten at this moment. So we'll see if they end up folding or not. We talked about yesterday this massive this range in here from 280 to 293 ish that we just bounced around in on the SPY last summer. And man, if we get above that 293 and can hold, I think a lot of that pessimism is going to evaporate. And that's just what happens when you throw $5-6 trillion at the economy. No matter what's going on, it's disjointed from reality of people not being out to shop or stuff like that. But that's just the reality. Don't fight the Fed. So I did want to say real quick one thing. Somebody asked about our scanners, the Gapper scanner we use in particular in the morning. So we use Trade Idea scanners. We use them all day. Um, we have them up in the room all day, a whole set of scanners. But the one that we focus on pre-market's the Gappers. And AB will throw up the link. We give out those settings for free. Are we frozen, man?
Nah, I see you good, brother.
Yeah, no, we're frozen in the room, bud. I don't know if I need to reset, but I'm not going to do it until I finish because we're still live on YouTube.
Yep.
But anyway, so the Gapper scanner is set to show only stocks greater than $5 up that are gapping from the previous day close, up or down more than 2%. So up over 2% or down more than 2%. We set the float at one that just keeps out some garbage. 100,000 shares volume at a minimum, but we like to see higher than that, and an ATR average to range of 50 cents. So AB will throw up the link, and we give it out for free. You can click the link there and check out our scanner settings and everything else.
All right, excellent, man. All right, let's just check to make sure you guys are not frozen. I don't see you guys frozen on my end. So let me
I'm
just
gonna refresh the room because my screen share is frozen and people are saying they don't see anything. So I'll be
gotcha,
right back.
gotcha. All right, guys, let's give Norm a quick second here. I'm gonna check it on my end as well. Make sure we're not frozen.
Yep, I refreshed and reloaded and I came back and I still got your screen as frozen.
All right, excellent. I'll be right back.
be right back. We're getting set back up again. All right, man. I don't know what happened.
All right, I just rebooted everything here on my side just to make sure it's not me. Let me share the screen again.
You're muted. I can't hear you. What you were saying to me.
All right, there we go.
All right, I'm muting here again.
Okay, guys. So let's see if that works. Can you guys see the screen now? Is it good?
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right, excellent. All right, guys. So thanks, Norm, for that. Let's get back into what we have here this morning. So again, our gappers list a little bit green this morning, a lot of green on the screen today. Again, with the market up nicely. So let's get to it, guys. First, let's start with gapping down. We have a couple of stocks here that are in the red this morning. SHG. Let's see what's happening here. Looking at our 5 minute and our daily chart at the moment.
Garbage. It's like this is like a Hong Kong financial. It's no bueno.
You could tell here, very choppy, a lot of gappy type action. So again, not anything you want to trade. UPS is here this morning, so they are down 4.2. Again, UPS is not an easy stock to trade, guys. By the way, it can be very, very choppy. At the moment here, gapping down nicely. Norm, any news on this drop here with UPS?
Yep. They had earnings this morning. They missed on their earnings and their revenues. Guidance is kind of unimportant right now. Everybody's pulling their guidance, but even people that are putting out guidance, it's worthless information at this point, kind of, because nobody knows what's going to happen in the next 6 months or year. That having been said, this is a company that should be benefiting from what's going on with the number of shipments and everybody ordering everything from home. So yeah. So kind of interesting there. Like you said, it's hard to trade. It's just heavily institutionally traded, and it can make it difficult at times.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this one, guys. Again, it's losing this nice, hopefully starts losing this nice area of resistance here. That could be a nice little drop. But overall, again, it's just one of these difficult stocks to trade here. All right, let's look at the last one that's red. Is BPMC this morning. So BPMC is a gap down 12.6. So again, nice big drop here on this one. Doesn't look all that clean though. What kind of stock is this, Norm? Blueprint Medicine, and let me check the float on this. 43 million shares flow. So it's not a low flow stock, but a nice big drop here this morning.
Yeah, so it's a biotech that released some data out of a clinical trial for a cancer drug, I believe a gastrointestinal cancer of some sort. So I didn't read the report. It's unlikely I'll trade this, but obviously the market is saying that no bueno.
Yeah, no, it's a nice big drop here. And again, you could tell too by the daily that it's not the best cleaning looking daily chart here. All right, guys, we have a massive list on what's green this morning. Let's start with the top 5, and then we'll give it to you guys. Maybe we'll look at some ones that we've been watching quite a bit. I'm sorry? Smile Direct. Yeah, we'll look at we'll look at some on here to see what's going on. So let's see the top 5 here. SDC. This one, as we Norm spoke, Smile Direct is up 34%. This is just wild this morning. So definitely on our list, very active. You can see beautiful pop here. Definitely going to put this on our list. Trading 1.7 million shares traded.
Yeah, they got a patent approval this morning, which is popping them. And the thing you got to remember here is they've got a very high short float. TI's got it at 50%, 51%, and FinViz is just a little bit higher at 52%. So, a potential short squeeze setup. I'll have my eye on it today, even though I usually don't trade stuff in the $7 range.
Yeah, this is definitely the exception today because this thing looks like it's going to be very explosive. And again, this short flow interest here is going to be exciting to see how that's going to react when people wake up and see this pop here, 35%. QTNT, guys, this one is gapping up. Not all that great right now. Doesn't have the great pre-market activity. Actually looks pretty crappy at the moment. It does have a nice big pop of 30%. But again, this is not one you probably want to be watching today.
It's a foreign company. They're gapping up. They produce antibody tests, and they release some results for an antibody test they're making. So like you said, I won't trade it just because it's foreign and doesn't trade well because of that.
Gotcha. Let's look at BBBY. Also had a nice day yesterday. It was not on our list, but look at this beautiful pop yesterday. Today they are gapping up 10%, 375,000 shares traded. This one could be interesting. It could be it could be a hit or miss on how it trades. It's usually not the best clean trading stock when it comes to the intraday, but we got some good volume today. Pre-market, I wish it would looked a little bit better, but definitely worth keeping here, guys. We have a beautiful daily when it comes to breaking out of this area around 650. We're doing that nicely today, so definitely worth watching. We got some room to run here if this thing is going to continue to be strong for it looks like the fourth day. So I'm gonna add BBY here. Has a nice little comeback.
BBBY.
Sorry,
Just want to
BBBY.
clarify that
Correct. Yeah,
because
thank you.
BBY is a
That's Beth and
different
Beyond
company.
or something else. Yeah. So BBBY.
BBBY is Bed Bath and Beyond. BBY is Best Buy.
Best Buy, yes, there it is. So here goes, guys. You have a couple of green days here trending really nicely, breaking out of this area. So we'll see what this does today. Hopefully, can get a better pre-market activity because right now this doesn't look the best at the moment. All right, let's take a look at what else we have
This
here.
I wanted to say this is the other big short float possible squeeze candidate here. Trade
82.
Ideas has their short float at 82%. I don't know if that's accurate, but FinViz is over 50 as well. That
Yeah, it's
high is
high.
really a potential good setup.
Yep, yep. Well, anything what usually normal over 40, 30 is already pretty high end when it comes to
Yeah.
that number. So showing 80, 50, and 50 here on a Smile Direct, that is some big numbers when it comes to short flow interest. Let's look at NAT this morning. This one was active yesterday. Today we have a good pre-market activity. How did it actually trade yesterday? I did not keep it on my list. Just want to check. Right, not too bad, not too bad. After it settled down here, held the VWAP nicely, and it traded very clean pre-market activity. So yeah, this is worth watching for a possible continuation today. We'll keep an eye on it. It could be one that can be in our main list today. And let's look at the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, last one here, MGM, and then we'll throw it to you guys to see what you guys like this morning. So MGM is interesting because this one has been consolidating over the last couple of days right in this area. Had a nice big pop and a big gap up. It gave some back. If you guys remember, this is where a lot of their internal investors or kind of their CEOs are buying in heavy into the stock. That's usually a good sign that the stock, they believe the stock is going to be worth higher later in the future. And you can see here we have a nice big pop that popped yesterday. Beautiful breakout. And today we got a good pre-market already, 327,000. And we got a potential breakout here if we can get above this area. So I think MGM is worth watching. Norm, aside from just technicals and the SPY going up, any news on MGM this morning?
Just in general, with things opening, and then I believe it was Las Vegas Sands, which is LVS, came out and said that they're anticipating a very, very quick and heavy rebound to gambling in Asia, specifically Macau. So,
Yeah, yeah. See, here's LVS as well. Not doing much right now, but they had a big day a couple of days ago as well, gapping up here in this area. Pretty nice. All right, guys. So that is what we have. We're gonna look at one more mRNA because this one has been very active for us. So mRNA this morning, not doing all that much, but it had a big day after hours or a big trading session after hours here. Nice big gap up and holding these areas, gapping up 7%. So it could be worth watching, guys. We've been consolidating between 53 and 48, just bouncing back and forth between this area. Possible breakout. We do have some targets here, 54 and 56. So again, I'm not sure that any specific news. It looks like we had some possible news breakout yesterday on this.
yeah, they did. Last night they announced that their COVID vaccine candidate is progressing to the next set of testing, next
Gotcha.
stage.
So again, these guys getting a nice little. They basically recover everything they lost yesterday from pre-market. They recovered that in the after hours on here. We're kind of holding this 51 level. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Let's see what you guys have this morning. I already see Mustafa is giving us CCL, one of the stocks we've been watching quite a bit. So CCL this morning breaking out of this area that has some serious consolidation. Just look at the chop on here, guys. We were in there for what, about 2-3 weeks, just stuck in this area. Finally breaking out of this. Obviously, the SPY is doing well and helping a lot of this. Great pre-market activity, and now we're starting to see some of those numbers that we like. 1.2 million shares traded. That's a good number there for CCL, and it's up 6.2. Definitely on our list. CCL has been very good to us. Not while it was in this range, but when it was trading outside of this, it was trading very clean with some really good volume, very predictable action there. So we'll definitely keep CCL this morning. Looks very good as of right now. mRNA we have, excellent. What's the news on Smile Direct? So the news on Smile Direct, Norm talked about it. They have an approval on a patent, so that's going to be good for them. LUV. Let's take a look what's happening there. LUV this morning down 1.3, 882,000 shares traded. So we do got some action on it this morning. Had a nice big drop all the way down here to 28.50 from the 30s. So again, looks like they got some negative stuff affecting them this morning. The daily
They had
though.
earnings this morning. They had earnings this morning, and their loss was not quite as big as expected. They had an expected loss of 48 cents a share, and they only lost 15 cents a share, but their revenues were off a good chunk. So
Gotcha.
that's what hit them.
So this could be a good one to watch, guys. Again, they are sitting right at this great area of support. If you look at that 28.70, 28.80 area, we bounced from that several times already. We've been consolidating slightly above that for the last couple of days. And we lost it a bit. We're kind of recovering here in the pre-market. This could be a good one to watch. We'll keep on it, keep an eye on it. It's got some great volume. Not the best, cleanest pre-market activity, but this drop is great right below the previous day close. Let's see if we're going to hold these lows or are we going to head lower. Again, this is a great area of support, this previous day close. You can see that right on there, how much support you have on there. So let's keep an eye on that one. LH. Moose is giving us LH. Let's see what's happening in LH. At the moment, they're gapping. Let me get the right ticker here. LH, here we go. They're gapping up 5.1. Not that much volume, only 24,000 shares traded for this one. In the pre-market, again, with that type of volume, you're not going to have a pre-market, so we're going to skip on this one for now. NXPI, let's see what Chris has for us here. NXPI is gapping up 8%, 29,000 shares traded. So again, very light on the volume, guys, at the moment. So you're not getting this nice, good pre-market activity. This one on the daily, though, looks a little bit choppy. Just looking at it, looking at the volume, it doesn't trade.
Foreign.
Yeah, oh, there it is. That makes sense. Doesn't trade above 4.5 million shares traded. So again, it's foreign stock. We're going to skip on this one. Let's go over to KSS. David from Connecticut. What do we have here? So KSS, this is Co's at the moment, starting to get going here in the pre-market. Still needs a little bit more action, pre-market activity, but usually Co's, that's the way it trades. It doesn't have a great pre-market activity. We do have some volume. It is up 7.6. But David, I see what you're looking at. This daily looks very attractive, right? We're getting back to this area of resistance, and we have a nice level here. If we can break out of that, this will be nice. We're already breaking out of the previous day close. If you draw a line right on there, you got a nice little pop. We got there yesterday. Potential breakout on this one, and I'm not sure what the short interest is. If it's high, that could be a potential squeeze as well. So we'll keep an eye on it. This could be a great possible for us to look even later on if it doesn't get the great volume in pre-market action at the morning. But the daily looks amazing. INTC stock operator. Let's see what we have going on here. INTC. Here we go. So INTC right now doesn't have great volume. It is consolidating though. It's still in this choppy area. So we had a big day a couple of days ago, still chopping around here. If we can break out of this, it can be nice. But overall, I'm not seeing anything great right now for today's open at the moment. So again, not saying that cannot get better, but right now it's not looking all that exciting. Let's look at FFIV. This one here, guys, gapping up 12.34, only 44,000. So again, the volume is pretty light. I do love this pop here, but I'm not too sure about a stock that's trading only 1.3 million shares on every single day. So I'm not sure if it's foreign or not, but that is very light volume, guys. I'm not sure what the let's just quickly let's check what the FFIV, what the flow is. It is a 60 million shares flow. It's not a low flow stock, but again, this type of volume is a little bit scary. I'm not sure what type of pre-market, what type of price action you're gonna get.
They had earnings last night. They were talking about a boost to their business because everybody's working from home. So that's what the catalyst is. Like you said, it's not a ton of volume, so we'll see. We'll see what it does.
Yep. Also, the spread right now, guys, is a little bit scary on this one, almost a buck. So again, just we'll see how that could get better in the open, but
Spread's $1.25.
yeah, that's it's not too good. Here is an INO, guys. We have tons of levels for this one. This was extremely active yesterday, but it gave it all back. So nice big pop here, gapped up nicely, and it just dropped down and gave it all back. And today we're gapping up 6.7. So yes, Fahas, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, possible continuation here. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. But again, guys, this is a stock that you got to be in and out quick. You cannot stick around in the hope for a change in direction if you're in the stock and it's going against you. We saw what happened yesterday. The moves was very wild, and then it just completely lost it. And then it got to a point where it was not even whether it was dropping or not. It was not a good opportunity for a short or a long. So again, one of those stocks we got to be very cautious at this moment. Good pre-market activity as it has every morning. Some great volume, 1.4. But you got to be very cautious in this one here. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll do some levels for it and see how that develops. All right, let's take a quick look at what's happening here in our YouTube chat. AXSM. This one here this morning, we have looked at this one before, had a big gap up yesterday. As you can see, we have some levels for it now. I'm not getting a lot of volume, guys, on this one. And even yesterday, it didn't trade up all that well. Besides this one drop here, if you missed this drop, the rest was pretty much garbage. It didn't do anything, right? This is not the best pre-market, intraday trading here. So again, I'm not getting much out of this one for today, so we'll skip on this one. SPCE, this one could be very explosive. Oh, the daily starting to look nice here. Starting to hold some of these levels around 17, kind of got a rounding bottom. Possible breakout above 19, 1850 here, which is clearly an area of resistance. That was the high from yesterday. Volume is starting to come in. Pre-market at the moment looks just very horrible right now, but let's see if this breakout can get some buyers in here and get this going one way or the other. So SPCE, we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's look at Snap. Snap, as you know, was surprised us a couple of days ago with this beautiful pop and holding, and not even holding, just taking off. And the intraday was just incredible. I didn't take it long because I was just concerned that it was going to be choppy. I have a bit of a bias on it because it could be so choppy. But man, did it prove us wrong that day? At least it did to me. It traded very, very well. So Snap today, possible continuation, guys. But again, look at the pre-market at the moment. The daily looks interesting. You kind of have an ABCD pattern for me here the last couple of days. Possible break above this recent highs here, 17. So could get going. You know what? Worth watching. Worth watching. But we'll have to see how this pre-market activities develops. Right now, although you have the volume, this pre-market is very, very choppy on Snap. All right, let's take a look at a few more CNXM. We got a couple of people throwing that one out there. Yeah, it's no volume on this one. So I'm not sure what you guys like.
It had a big drop yesterday, and I think that's what they're talking about, possible rebound. But
rebound or bounce.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at price action, let that dictate what things what should happen. And we've got enough on our list. We don't really need to stretch to throw something on there that might be questionable.
Yeah. I mean, the daily looks interesting. Obviously, possible continuation one way or the other. If they lose this level, it can go down, bounce. But again, aside from that, right here we have nothing going on right now. So there's nobody watching this one. I don't expect an explosive action, right at the open on this one. So keep this on your secondary if you like it.
I mean, you never know; it could move. But I'm gonna. We've got so much on our list here, and so many great things to choose from.
Right.
I'm just not going to take up a slot with something that is like third string and put it in as a starter.
Exactly. It's all about space. And you can't watch everything. You cannot watch 10, 15 stocks. It doesn't work. This is why the scanners guys that we have in the room on Trade Ideas, if you have Trade Ideas, is amazing, because if you have a secondary list that you don't have up on your charts, something comes up on the turbo breakdown, turbo breakup with a lot of volume, and it's a ticker you have in your secondary list, then you want to take a look at it, right? It could be something that keeps you a reminder for you of what's happening out there that you might not be watching. Here's a 3M. They are gapping up nicely, 4.7, 105, so a little bit light on the volume. Love the day. Yes, it had a nice big pop yesterday, and it held here, and today we're getting a nice gap up. Could be worth watching. I want to see if it gets better. Right now, it's not all that great when it comes to volume and pre-market, but it has a nice pop of 4.7, so worth watching. Let's see if it gets better. We'll keep it on here for a second now. All right, we're seeing some good names now. BA and AMD, some of the ones that we've been watching closely over the last couple of days. Here's BA. Although BA has a decent pre-market activity right now, it's not doing much. It's not even up above 2% or down below 2%. So again, it's pretty much flat at the moment. Has some good volume, but again, I'm not seeing anything great when it comes to gapping up or moving in one direction. We'll look at one more is AMD here. So AMD could be a good one as well. AMD, what I like about it on the daily is that we're holding this 58 very nice here. So possible breakout out of this area. Again, you see the higher lows, higher highs, higher lows happening here, kind of pushing this up a little bit, squeezing into this 58. So that could be exciting. If the SPY is going to be strong, AMD could possibly follow suit. We'll have to see how that plays out. But again, you got a nice area of resistance right here at 58. We'll have to see if it has the strength to break that. As far as pre-market right now, we're starting to get going. We got some great volume on here, but not the best pre-market action we've seen out of AMD. So worth here as a possible, but we'll see how that develops in a couple of minutes if it's worth watching for us. All right, guys, some really good tickets. We just can't get through all of them. I want to do one more. See, let's do Citigroup here. This one at the moment, again, gapping up 44.3%. As Norm mentioned, the financials had a good news yesterday. We are getting to an area where we can possibly break out from here, but the volume for Citigroup is light. You know, these type of banking stocks, they don't move well, so you need some really good volume to get this going and to really be one to have on our list. So we're gonna skip it for now, but want to take a look on how that was acting today. All right, guys, let's get over to announcements. We'll come back. We'll do some support and resistance after we come back from these community announcements.
All right, guys. So next slide, man. Uh,
Oh, sorry. There we go.
yeah, just a reminder, every day at 3:30 to 4:15 Eastern, we've got our new closing bells show. Peter, Mike, Brian will be talking to you the last half hour of the market, and right after the close, talk about any earnings that come out and stuff like that. That's live streamed on our YouTube channel. Okay, we've got some great content coming up in the next week or so. This week, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. in the webinar room and live broadcasted on YouTube, we will have a world famous trading psychologist, Brett Steenbarger, and co-founder of S&B Capital, Mike Bellafiore. Dr. Steenbarger and Bella will be talking about learning in a trading community and how they mentor their new traders at their proper. Next week, we're going to have Andrew, 8 p.m. He's going to be talking about using moving averages for short-term trading, how he uses them in his trading. Tonight in the webinar room, we've got Mike B, our own Mike B, talking about his module 2, psychology of trading, and how your mind deals with uncertainty to learn to focus on what matters. That's at 8 p.m. in the webinar room next week. Dr. Katz will be talking in the webinar room Tuesday, 8 p.m. About how to maintain balance. If you're watching us on YouTube and would like to give the room a try, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code premarket24. That'll give you access to the chat room for a week, which also includes our onboarding class every Monday night at 8 p.m. Just use the promo code premarket24 when you sign up for the intro membership. Also, if you're looking to upgrade your membership or become a member and want to do the lifetime option, you can do so with 40% off by using the promo code EarthDay for the one-time lifetime membership.
All right, thank you, Noah. Appreciate that. All right, guys, so let's get to this list. Let's go through it pretty quick and see what we like out of this bunch here. So here's UPS this morning. Again, it's got some okay action, dropping down here nicely, 3.7. Worth taking a look at if it wasn't so choppy. But again, this daily chart here is just so choppy. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of it right now. This is one that we will hopefully want to see in our gappers list, or I'm sorry, in our turbo breakup and turbo breakdown list, if it can do that. So I'm just going to put some levels now because I am going to remove it. I'm going to put a level here at 97. 97.43. We have another one here at 96, a nice moving average there. And then this is why this stock is not as great to have on my list, or not one of my favorites, because it's so hard to find daily levels, right? You have all this chop here. It's very difficult to kind of get a very clean level. You see some daily. Aside from this one here, this is very clean. You got a nice bounce off of that around 89. In here, you're not going to find the best possible levels that show some really good bounce. So I'm going to remove it from now, guys. Could be a great possible. I'll look out for this if it hits our scanners or someone in the chat room calls it out. We can tune into it. And then towards the top, you got plenty of highs and lows all listed. Again, there's a lot of congestion in that area. So let's bring this out of the way for now. Here's BPMC. So again, this one I won't be watching. It just doesn't look all that great right now. Again, the dailies all over the place. It has a nice gap down 13.1, but again, even the pre-market's not looking exciting. It doesn't have a great nice flow to it. So I am going to remove this one from my list. Let's go down to Smile Direct. Smile Direct is definitely on our list. We'll keep an eye on that one. It continues to be strong right now, holding around that pre-market high around 730.33. BBBY, also one we want to watch this morning. Nice day yesterday, also gapping up 11.5 today, so we'll keep an eye on that. NAT as well. Could be exciting, guys. So again, 2.2 million shares traded right now. Again, pre-market it's starting to get going. It looks nice here, but again, I'm not a big fan of this stock. But again, you cannot deny that the action is definitely on here with some good volume, up 9.2. Definitely, let's do some levels for it. Even if we don't keep it, at least we're ready in case it does become a stock that trades very well. Here's MGM this morning. I like it off the daily, guys. If it can break out of this area, I think it can create a nice pop. And we talked about this one being, just getting some really good news and kind of heading higher here, creating a nice base around 13, kind of breaking out of this area. So we'll keep an eye on that one. mRNA, I do like mRNA. It's giving some back a little bit here. We'll keep an eye on that one. CCL is great, guys. I love the pre-market action right now on CCL, and the volume is what we like to see. LUV, wow, look at the pop on LUV here, guys, coming back nicely. I was gonna this was one I was gonna actually remove, but now could be worth watching. Million shares traded at the moment. We've got some good volume coming in, going red to green in a couple of minutes here, a couple of candles, so worth keeping an eye on. Coles, I'm going to remove, guys. This is one that the pre-market's not looking all that great right now. We have a nice pop of 7.5, but this is the type of stock that it could be difficult to trade. It might not give you the best opening action. INO here is giving some back at the moment. It is on short seller restriction, very active, 1.7 million shares traded. But this is one that we'll do levels for it, which we are pretty much already done for us. Look at the highs and lows right in here. But again, this is a stock, guys, you want to be very careful with. Might not make my final list. SPCE, I love the daily on it, but again, the volume right now still hasn't been getting any better. And right now it just looks very choppy pre-market wise. So, but this could be a good possible, guys. So SPCE could be a good possible. We'll throw it on here. We'll do some levels for it if we have time to get to that. Here's a Snap. So Snap, guys, although it has 405,000 shares traded, for Snap, that is very low. Snap trades for the most part at 36 million shares a day, even higher. And that day we had that huge spike up. It was 120, what's that, 178 million shares traded. So again, it's a very high volume trading stock. So 409 pre-market is almost nothing for Snap because it's so heavily traded. So I'm on the fence on this one. I'm going to throw it down as a possible. If we have time, we'll definitely get to it. But I don't see anything very interesting right now in the pre-market. I do love the daily. We have kind of like an ABCD pattern forming here, nice base and a possible breakout. Again, a great candidate to see if it's going to hit our scanners. Let's head down over to, I know we looked at 3M this morning, also not looking great. I love the last couple of days. We had a great pop out of here. Could be a great continuation play for this one. This is a nicey stock. So usually you don't get the best pre-market action before the open or volume on stocks like this. This could be a great possible. We'll throw it down here as well. See if we can get to it. And then last but not least, we have AMD. So AMD's got good volume right now, getting close to that magic number, 700,000. Usually AMD's, when you have that volume, it can signify some really good action at the open out of AMD. Right now, pre-market's looking great, guys. Got a nice big drop here. We're kind of getting a nice flow going here. Let's see what it does in a couple of minutes. And also the daily. The daily looks very great. We got a nice area of resistance right here at 58 that we can get some action. When we have a strong level like this, doesn't mean that if we get above it's going to squeeze or that it's going to reject it. But what it does mean, though, when it gets to that level, you are going to have some action one way or the other because people are going to be looking at this area, right? If anybody's short, they're going to be looking to get out. If anybody is long and is rejecting, they're looking to get out. So you're going to get a lot of transaction happening, which can create a possible breakout one way or the other. So that makes it interesting to have that level right on. That's been a very strong resistance over the last couple of days. We have not been able to break above that. So we'll keep an eye on that. And all right, so that does it, guys. I think we have a pretty good list. Let's get over to the first one here on Smile Direct and do some levels. So high of our pre-market sitting at a 733. We'll mark that down. Let's see what we have towards the top here. Zooming into this area, we have several days here. Not the best daily, so our levels are not going to be as great as we see other stocks that have a better daily chart. But we do have one here at 861. Let's see what we have towards the bottom on the daily. We do have another level here at 645. And then towards the bottom of that, guys, you got plenty of levels here. Highs and lows from the last two trading days. Your low of the pre-market sitting around 550. So it's right on between these levels. But before you get to that level, you do have a most recent spike here, which is a 606 area of resistance for a couple of days here that can now play as support. Although it doesn't look like it wants to get down there, guys. Looking pretty strong right now. So we'll see how Smile Direct acts when it gets to the 733 level. Are we going to test that one more time? Here's BBY. So at the moment, Bed Bath & Beyond, again, it's got some decent action, guys. So high of the pre-market sitting at a 720. Let's mark that down. Above that, we do have an area here at 821, and then we have another one here around 860. Towards the bottom, plenty of levels. I don't think you need to add anymore. You got your highs and lows from the last two trading days. previous day close here, right? It's very close to what the pre-market low is. You can mark the pre-market low at a 650. The previous day close is 10 cents below that, and then towards the bottoms you got more highs and lows, got you covered. So again, plenty of levels on here, guys. This one, it looks good, but I'm on the fence. Obviously, I'm not going to watch all these stocks. This could be one that can get downgraded to our secondary list here, so we'll keep an eye on as we get closer to that 9:30 time frame. NAT, guys, has a great pre-market activity right now. Pre-market high sitting at 818, so we'll mark that right over here. Here we go. Let's see what we have towards the top. Do we have anything towards the top? No, I think this stock might be at least 52-week high. Oh yeah, we do, but it's going back April 2016. We got some levels in here. Let's see what we have. So we have this area we're in right now. Notice this pre-market high, guys. That has been an area of some heavy support going back into 2017. Look how many times we tested that. This is a monthly chart, by the way. So several times we had that as support. And going back before that, that's been, you know, great support. And there's now no surprise that it's now reacting as a good resistance for this stock. If we can break out of that, I do see some areas right on here for a next possible level around 9 going back. Again, these are some very old data here, but you can tell even now this data is being looked at here at this pre-market high. I'm convinced that's not a coincidence. We're hitting that number just because, right? 818, it's a random number, and this is definitely got to be the reason why. All right, so let's look at what else we have on it towards the bottom, guys. We do have your previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you covered. This has a nice pop though, right? You do want to have some levels in your pre-market here. For example, right on here, this 8 level is going to be interesting. You have several times you tested that in the pre-market. This 818 is coming from really early on, around 4 o'clock this morning. So again, you want to have something a little more recent here. 802 looks good to be an area where we tested several times. We're not able to get above. And then towards the bottom, we do have some great support happening at 778. All right, let's look at a MGM, and this one is starting to get some volume going here. 400,000 shares traded. The price action sitting right at an area of resistance, so I'm going to mark it down. This is 1641. You can see that right on. There's some a good rejection off this day. This is gapped up nicely here, and it gave it all back. But again, you can see that rejection right on there. Above that, if we can get going here towards the top, 1764 is the good area, and slightly above that, you do have 1948. Guys, towards the bottom, you got the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, previous day close. Plenty of very clean levels towards the bottom, as you can see here. We've been building over the last couple of days. So I think MGM's looking pretty decent right now. Pre-market starting to get going. We got some really good volume on here. Let's see if we can break out of this area and if we're going to squeeze here or start reversing back. mRNA starting to give it back here. So it's doing pretty good right now. They're only up 5.9. They are stuck between the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right in this area. But on the bigger picture, you're stuck between this range here that has been kind of been bouncing back and forth on. So we're at the top of that range now. Look to be heading down a little bit here. As far as levels within this range, the only level I see on this daily is this 49.08. So I'm going to mark that down. And above that, you do have the high of the pre-market sitting at 52.81 or so. Slightly above that, guys, if we can get going here towards the top, 54.79, and then you have another one here at 56.36. But let's see if we can actually break out of this range here. Right now, this is the area where it has been stuck in for the last couple of days, 52.81 and 48. CCL, guys. Oh man, CCL. Yes, we're starting to get some really good volume here. 1.7 million shares traded. High of the pre-market. I'm gonna mark this area here. I know it's not the high of the pre-market, but you could tell how much this thing struggled here. And as we know, CCL can come back pretty fast. So we have 1385 is an area of interest. You can see here some pretty good resistance happening here, and now that we got above that nice squeeze, making a new pre-market high. I'm not gonna put the pre-market high now because it looks like it's gonna continue to go here. So at the moment, I am gonna mark down this level here at 1454. You do have an area of where you see some support, some resistance as well at 1454. So you want to have that on there. Let's see where this is going to go here on CCL. Towards the bottom, guys, you got plenty of support, a lot of congestion in here. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, previous day close. It's all listed right on this. I guess you got a very nice base here, support on CCL. LUV, again, it's an explosive move here. I was thinking of taking this one off, but now after this is definitely on top of the list. Low of the pre-market sitting at 28.30. We bounced off of that nicely, and now we are in the green. So pushing up pretty good here. Previous day close, you can see here once we broke out of that, nice big pop as well. Pre-market high is all the way up very close to the high from 2 days ago, right? Slightly below it. So I'm going to mark it down at 30.29 is the pre-market high. Above that, you got the highs from 2 days ago. And then above that, you do have this area here that also has been a resistance for this stock at 30.79. You also got a moving average coming in very close to 39.29 as well, which is the pre-market high. So let's see what it does here, guys. This is great pre-market action. We look at the drop. We drop down here. We find a base around 28.40. Then we get this beautiful pop here above the previous day close. Let's see if we're going to come down and test some of these levels before we head higher, or what it's going to do. Who knows? But overall, this is great pre-market action. Some really good volume out of love. We went from having a stock that wasn't trading well and so to be now an amazing stock with this pre-market at the moment. Here's INO, guys. So INO, I'm going to remove INO. It's just such a difficult stock to trade. Every time I watch it, it doesn't trade clean. So again, I'm just going to throw it down here. Right now, pre-market high, we do have 1478, so I'm going to mark that down. And then here you have your pre-market low is basically at the previous day close. And in between that, you have some really good levels, because look at the daily. This daily has been so great. Beautiful breakout here. Nice big run up. It has been gapping up and selling off and gapping up and selling off, but it finds a way to come back. I'm not saying that is what's going to do today, because we've seen this stock do this. Gap up and look at this. Right, so again, just be very, very careful with this stock. It is a lower price stock, sitting at 14 bucks, coming out of $8. So again, just be very careful with the number of shares you take here. Right now, great pre-market action, 2 million shares traded, which is typical for INO. If you look at the volume down here, look at the volume this thing trades when it's in play. I mean, that's some serious volume. The last 2 days, over 100 million shares traded. So we'll keep an eye on it. We got some good levels for it. I'm not going to watch it on my main list. I think overall it's just a very difficult stock to trade. Here is AMD, guys. As far as AMD, you got plenty of levels already. You got this range here between you're stuck in for the last couple of days. Your high is sitting at 57.50. Let's mark that down, which is slightly below the high from yesterday. And then you really have no more levels to add on here, guys. We're stuck between this congested area here. As you can see, it's a lot happening here. So right now, pre-market is very active, guys. 913,000 shares. It's a lot of volume for AMD. So I'm not going to remove it just yet, but I am going to keep an eye on it. As we get closer to 9:30, we'll decide if this is one to watch or not. But again, I think we have some pretty good stocks today. Quick recap, guys. So we have Smile Direct, we have BBY, we have NAT, we have MGM here. We have mRNAs, continues to give some back here. CCL, what is it doing? Maybe it's going to come back and test this 1385. LUV continues to be very explosive here. INO we remove. Let's get rid of INO from our main list here for now. And we have AMD. So I think we have a very decent list. And we looked through our secondary. We didn't talk about 3M, but 3M is a good secondary, guys. Doesn't have great volume and great pre-market action right now. What I mean by that, we're not getting a nice flow here. As when you look at like LUV, look at the action of LUV. This is a beautiful trading pre-market action right now. So 3M is not giving us that. As I mentioned before, it is a nicey stock. It might not give you that great pre-market action as some of these other stocks will, sitting in a different exchange. But overall, again, it has a great daily here with a nice pop. I'm just not sure how clean it's going to trade this morning. So I think that's what we have. Norm, anything else on your end that you like?
Love Boeing. I'm going to keep 3M. I've got UPS here. So that's primarily what I'm watching, in addition to what you already mentioned.
Yeah, UPS, that should actually be in our secondary list here as well. Because UPS, it could be interesting if it can lose some of these levels. This will be a good one to watch if it hits the scanners, guys. Again, they got some good volume. This is decent volume for UPS. This 252,000. That's a lot of volume for a stock sitting in the NYSE exchange, and also with this type of ticker. So we'll keep an eye on that one also. All right, folks, that is what we have, guys. Thank you for joining us in the pre-market show here on YouTube. We appreciate it. We are going to go into the chat room and fine tune. We're coming up 15 minutes almost before the market open. Let's settle down here and kind of fine tune this list. Let's see what everybody else is watching in our moderators. Thor is watching CCL, LUV, SDC, AMD, and UPS as his backup. Eamon is watching CCL, PFE, and NVIDIA. Let's take a look at PFE. We didn't look at that one. So PFE, nice daily here. It has a nice pop of 2.5, some good volume. And then what do we have on NVIDIA? And NVIDIA also is looking pretty interesting as well. We got some decent daily action here as well on NVIDIA, so pretty nice. Peter, he's watching PFE, 3M, Love, In secondary, he's watching Love again, so he's watching Love twice. He has Smile Direct, UPS, and Cat as his secondary. Let's take a look at CAT, see what's happening there. So CAT, I see what you're looking at here. Possible breakout if it can get going. Right, not much action right now, but it's a good one for later on in the day. Now Peter trades all day, so his notice how his stocks could be a little bit different because he's watching stuff that can be dead at the open and then can just take off at 11 o'clock or so. So again, so many different ways to watch the markets and be able to trade different styles. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will come back tomorrow 8:30 Eastern time. Make sure you trade safe today, and we will see you. Actually, we'll see you later on at 3:30 for the today's close show with Peter, Brian, and Mike. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.